Hey, party people. I know many of you have that New Year's resolution to finally start your fashion business. So today I want to talk to you about the 3 most common mistakes I see startups making in the fashion industry. Number 1, they start by doing too much. Okay. I know that it is more glamorous, more splashy, and you want to have the big pizzazz, ping, pow, boom of launching with a full collection, launching with a beautiful fashion show, all these things. But here is the reality. Okay. This is what you need to do that kind of launch. You need a lot of money, like 6 figures. You need a lot of connections in the industry. You need to have been working in the industry so that you have friends, you have community, you have people you've worked with before, people that you know are reliable. You need a fat Rolodex full of people that you know. You need a lot of industry experience. You need at least 2 out of 3 out of those 3. Okay? Because the people who are able to launch with like a full-fledged tops and bottoms and jackets kind of collection are people who have been working in the industry long enough to at least have observed the hustle of, product development, simultaneous product categories, production streams of different categories, domestic and international at the same time while doing sales and marketing for a different season. Like experience under your belt working for someone else, seeing how all the puzzle pieces come together, and preferably being in a position at a somewhat smaller company that you have fingers in multiple pies so that you have like a little bit of experience in all these things. Okay, so money, connections, experience, at least 2 out of 3. At least 2 out of 3. And you can keep going. And here's the thing. The first collection is not, don't get me wrong, it's all hard, okay? It's not about that first collection, it's that second collection. Because here's what happens when you do a big, beautiful collection on the runway and you make a splash and you're working your way in with wholesale buyers and you've got a sales rep and you've got a few accounts, okay? You have to stick to the fashion calendar now. You have to pump out regular collections every season. And maybe not a runway show every season, but you need to have a collection every season because the buyers are like, where's your next collection? Where's your next collection? That's one of the dirty secrets of wholesale that a lot of people don't talk about is now, once you get wholesale accounts, if you are not producing regular seasons, even if they don't buy from you every season, okay? You don't look like a reliable business. You don't look like you know what you're doing if you are not doing regular seasons. Whereas direct to consumer, you're kind of like, you pump out product when you feel like it. Okay? And you should post regularly. You should keep your customers updated if there are any delays, but how often you put out new product is up to you. Okay, because you control all of that. Okay, that's direct to consumer. But when you're in that big bad wholesale world of the traditional fashion industry, you need to be ready to immediately turn around and start planning the next season the second the show is over. Okay, the show is over. You're trying to schedule appointments with buyers. Your sales rep is, your showroom is. But you need to immediately turn around and think, what am I doing next season? Oh man, listen, I grew up watching like Fashion File and Fashion Television. Raise your hand if you did the same. I love them so much. And they, Elsa Clench and Tim Blanks, they would go backstage and they would talk to fashion designers after the runway shows. And listen, I do have mixed feelings about Karl Lagerfeld, okay? Was he a good designer? Yes. Was he a terrible person? Also, yes. But the thing about him was he hated talking about the past, always. And so people would go backstage and talk to him and be like, hey, tell us about this collection. He's like, it's over. the show is over. I'm already thinking about the next one. This one, that's for salespeople, other people, business people to sort out. That collection is over in my mind. On to the next. And I'm like, I feel that. Okay. Unfortunately, though, if you are someone who runs your own business, you can't afford to think like that. Okay. I think that is one of the reasons why Karl Lagerfeld thrived under conditions where he was the creative director at a different brand and he didn't have to deal with any of the business stuff. Okay. But if you are the one who's in charge of all the business stuff, you can't think of it like that. You have to move on to the next collection, but you also have to figure out how to sell the collection you just showed. So it's a lot. And, I'm always beating my drum about starting small, starting with single product categories. And if you don't have much experience in the industry or none at all, if you do not have connections and you don't even know where to get samples made, and if you have like 10 grand saved up and think that's going to get you very far, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to suggest to you that you go into multiple product categories in your first outing. Okay? The reason why I recommend a single product category is so that you can deep dive. And it's like, even if you do 2 items, it is easier to do 2 pairs of pants than it is to do a jacket and a pant, because jackets and pants require different fittings, different kinds of fit, different manufacturing practices, not always different materials, but like different production, different pattern making. And, some pattern makers only do outerwear. Some pattern makers only do pants. Like, they're 2 completely different things. And if this is your first outing and you have no experience, what you really want to do is come out with a star product and not 2 mediocre products. Common mistake number 2 is not writing a business plan. And hear me when I say, it's not that you need to write out the fiscal projections of each quarter, but you do need a roadmap and you do need a game plan. It's not enough that you have a star product. So there's like 3 main, I see it as a triangle. Okay. We have design and production, product development and production. And that's what a lot of business owners start off with. That's what they focus on. And they're like, okay, so how do I make this? And how do I make more of them? And how do you, and that's fine. That's good. You should be thinking about those things. Absolutely. But that's not the only thing. Okay. Another point in that triangle is sales and marketing. And if you don't have a sales plan, you have nothing, because the whole point is so that you sell these things, and you need a strategy. You need a marketing plan and you need a sales plan. Okay. Sales and marketing means, how are you going to get the word out there? Are you doing direct to consumer? Are you doing wholesale? Are you doing private label? Are you showcasing at trade shows? Are you going to get a sales rep? Are you going to book a showroom? What kind of showroom? And can you find a showroom who will do your PR as well as your sales? Because they exist now. And all of that goes, and I've had to say this more than once, but everything you make, all the money you make in your whole business is from the products you sell. Okay? There is no other avenue of income. And so that means you have to price your product right, and you have to sell a lot of it. Okay? It's not like me, for example. I make my money in multiple ways. I make ad money on YouTube. I have subscribers on Patreon. I sell books. I sell sketchbooks. I'm very thoughtful about my merch, but I have things that I sell. Mugs. Well, it's the mugs and the sketchbooks. What I'm saying is, with fashion designers, all your money comes from the product you sell. That's it. And so if you're not selling it, if you don't have money for the next collection, what are you doing? Have a sales plan. Okay. And then shipping and distribution. It's like, how much inventory are you going to hold if you're D2C? Who are you selling to? Where's your audience? Are you starting hyper local? Are you thinking global distribution through the internet? How are you shipping to all these? Like, are the shipping fees going to eat into your profit margin? Like, you need a holistic picture of your whole business and how you plan on making money. Really great product. Like, it doesn't matter if you have the best purse anyone's ever seen. If all the shipping costs eat into your profits and you can't afford to function anymore, like, all these three things, they have to be in balance with one another. Each branch has to be healthy in order for the business to function. So build a roadmap, think beyond your product. Common mistake number 3, people take the first offer. Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever booked a call with me and I told you to go to a trade show for some reason or another. Okay. Listen, I cannot keep up with all the factories out there and all their pricing and all their terms and their turnaround and their qualifications for this and it would be impossible for one person to do that. Okay? Even for a singular segment of the industry. I do not have a constant spreadsheet of everyone's fees at any given time. Okay? That's insanity. Nobody is doing that. There's no such thing. Okay? Fashion is one of the most unregulated industries in the world. Okay? There's no governing party. Okay? So what you need to do is when you're like, okay, so where can I find someone who will do swimsuits and where can I find someone who will do jeans? Like, you have to do the search. You have to do the sourcing. You can hire someone to do the sourcing. Not me. I hate sourcing. But you can hire someone to do the sourcing. But the thing is, never take someone's first offer. Go to trade shows. If you are looking for linen, talk to half a dozen people who do the kind of linen that you like. Go touch all the linen they have on offer. That's why it's there. So you can touch it. You can rub it against the skin and see how rough it is. Kind of pull it at the edge a little bit. See how easily it frays. Don't pull apart the whole thing. That's just mean. And talk about what certifications that fabric mill has, what colors they offer, what in-stock options they have, what's their turnaround on dyeing custom dye jobs, if they do custom dye jobs, like if they sell prepared for dyeing, all these things, and gather up all this information. I love an Excel spreadsheet, okay? And line it up, okay? Who has the best offer, okay? What country are they shipping out of that is convenient to you or to the production facility that you need to ship the linen to? Same with production facilities. Ask them what their rates are for sampling. Ask them what their turnaround time looks like. Ask them what their areas of expertise are, because not every factory does every fabrication. Okay? Every factory is going to have things they're better at, the machines they're equipped with. Not every factory is equipped with machines that do leather, that, punch rivets to do denim, to do cover stitch for cut and sew knits. Okay. So you have to ask them like what fabrications they're capable of working with, what services, like, do they only do sewing? Do they do pattern making? Do they like, what services do they offer at the factory? And you need to start compiling all this data. Look at the prices they're offering, the turnaround time, where they're shipping from, what services they have. Look at the samples that they have. If you're able to see any of their actual work. And so many people come to me and say, well, I found this guy and then he did this and then he did that. And then I stuck around because I was too in to pull out. And okay, that came out wrong. People just find the first guy that is willing to work with them and ride their coattails into, well, not bankruptcy, but like they lose all their money and they don't have anything to show for it other than, battle scars and war stories and hopefully some less painfully learned lessons. Okay. Do your research up front. And, one of the things I talk about a lot is how you can catch the vibe of someone. You will go to a trade show booth and you will talk to people and you will just get along with some people and not with others. Okay. And once you start opening a conversation with them, okay, you will sense, oh no, this person doesn't want to work with me because they know I'm not ready to put down a 10,000 piece order. Or this person is more open to working with beginners who have like a great idea. Or, oh, this person is completely uninterested in doing intimates because that's not their thing. Okay? You're going to learn these things through conversation. And so when you go to a trade show, and I am aware, okay, I'm not dumb. I'm aware that for some of you, geographically, that is not the easiest thing to do. Okay? I know not everyone lives near Vegas or New York or Paris, which is why I'm going to Paris so that I can attend Premier Vision in February and kind of like show you all what Premier Vision is about. And trust me, none of these trade shows are paying me to say go to trade shows. It's just the investment in spending the money to get there and booking some cheap airport motel so that you can attend some of these shows, walk the shows and have conversations with people, make connections, feel different fabrics. You will learn so much that I think it is worth the financial and time investment to go to the show, to just cram in all that knowledge and experience and conversations instead of sitting at home and like sending out email after email and pulling teeth and trying to get another response back. But even that, reaching out to as many people as possible is better than just going with the first guy who says, fine, you give me $10,000 and I will develop that shirt for you. Never go with the first guy. The first guy may end up being the best guy, girl, lady, woman, non-binary person, okay? But that's not who you stick with. You need to get some more information from other people, okay? Sourcing is hard. Sourcing is usually not the funnest thing ever, but it's worth it to just get a thorough understanding of what's out there so you don't get scammed. If anything, you will be armed with more knowledge going into negotiations with the factory because you know what's out there. You know what people are charging. You know what the industry average is for the kind of product you want to make in the country you want to make it. That's it for today. Drop me your questions and video requests below. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today. Happy New Year. Good luck on your 2025 fashion goals. And I will see you in the next video.